Your forecast first, sponsored by Matex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Well, good evening to you on this sunny but much cooler Wednesday. We've got those clear skies, no thunderstorms that we've got to worry about here for tonight. No, it's just the cooler temperatures that we are going to be following. Look at the 40s across the area here, 45 in Springfield. It is only 42 in Champaign, and it's going to be quite chilly as we go throughout the rest of this evening. Look at our temperatures here through tonight. Quickly, we're going to be hitting the 30s by morning. We'll talk about how long the cooler weather sticks around, and we may see a little bit of rain for part of your weekend. WCIA 3 News starts right now.
Now from WCIA 3 News.
Tonight, a new survey suggests the teacher shortage in Illinois could only get worse, while a growing number want out. Plus, the city and county were making their own COVID-19 rules, why they're now backtracking and following the state's orders. And the pandemic changed the ways veterans were honored today, how one group was able to safely thank them for their service.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 5.
We must make sure that everyone, students and staff, are in an environment that is healthy and safe.
The state's largest teachers union is making it clear more teachers than ever want out of the profession, and it's because they don't feel safe in the classroom. Good evening, I'm Paul Cicchini. Those are the results of a survey organized by the Illinois Education Association. WCIA 3's Cole Hankey is live in our Capitol newsroom tonight. So, Cole, how bad is this problem?
The survey found that 1/3 of teachers in the state have considered leaving the profession entirely since the pandemic began. And that survey, which was distributed to about 1,300 members of the union, found that 12% said that they didn't want to be a teacher anymore. And then 10% of teachers were considering early retirement, and 13% were reevaluating their career paths. The Illinois Education Association released the numbers today, and with them called for the state to take more control in how schools operate during the pandemic.
And it would be great if ISB or IDPH or the governor's office would come out with metrics, would come out with some standards, but as of right now, they are respecting local control.
The state ended their school shutdown over the summer and allowed districts to decide for themselves whether they would return to the classroom, continue remote learning, or do a hybrid program. But with case numbers rising, Governor Pritzker has said that another shutdown is possible. Today, he even told businesses and workplaces to recommend their workers work from home to help try to lower cases and prevent another school shutdown. Paul.
That certainly makes sense. Cole, thanks. The survey also found 76% of teachers said this year's workload was either somewhat or much heavier than last. 66% said they've been more burned out than usual this year. Springfield and Sangamon County are backtracking and shutting down indoor dining after the state posted a record number of cases last week. The city and county do not believe the numbers over the last week reflect the actions that were taken under the first wave of mitigations, but they changed course because they're worried about the hospitals in the area.
That's the frustrating part, and the situation really is the hospital capacity with regards to that. And, you know, once you start hitting hospitalizations, you have to be able to serve the public, and we just don't know where those numbers are going to go.
Dining ban takes effect Friday. The mayor also plans to expand the city's mask ordinance, which can lead to fines for anybody not wearing a mask, to include all public buildings. Now, these numbers are not limited to central Illinois. Here's a look at today's COVID numbers statewide. Cases are continuing to skyrocket. Public Health is reporting more than 12,000 new infections. That brings the total up to more than 523,000 diagnosed since the pandemic began. More than 5,000 people are in the hospital as of last night. 145 more people have died. That includes 16 from central Illinois. The state has lost more than 10,400 people to COVID-19. The 7-day positivity rate is also continuing to rise. It's now at 12.4%. Region 3, West Central Illinois, is still at 15.2%, while Region 6, East Central Illinois, is at 12.2%. An area county is disconnecting its COVID-19 hotline. People in Douglas County will have to call the health department's main number with concerns. Health officials didn't say why they're cutting the cord. The county has had more than 1,000 confirmed cases of the virus. As of yesterday, officials reported a test positivity rate of more than 13%. That is several points higher than the state target. In other news, a man is dead after a train crash in Douglas County. It happened at Cabot Corporation in Tuscola. The sheriff's office got the report around 9:45 this morning. When deputies arrived, they found a man in his 30s dead. His identity hasn't been released. Authorities believe it was an accident, but the investigation continues. Here's an update now. A woman in Urbana accused of hitting someone while driving under the influence has been released on bond. Barbara Ann Anastasi's bond was reduced from $250,000 to $75,000. She's charged with driving under the influence and hitting Monica McCoy. The crash happened on Sumac Drive in Champaign on October 22nd. McCoy's been in the hospital since and is unable to speak from her injuries. If Anastasi is convicted, she could face 12 years in prison. A march kicked off this Veterans Day. People in the community, the Ches Veterans Center staff, and the U of I ROTC program participated in a 6-mile ruck march around the Champaign-Urbana area. It was to raise awareness about the suicide rate among veterans across the country. From the beginning of the year until September, military suicides increased by as much as 20% compared to the same period last year. They wanted to let everyone know about this issue.
We don't know why it's so prevalent in the military. It could be a multitude of factors, but to bring awareness and bring more research and more, and to let people know there's more of an outlet for help other than just taking your own life.
They also want people to know there are resources available through the U of I. Governor Pritzker, Senator Tammy Duckworth, and state officials held a ribbon cutting at the new Chicago Veterans Home today. And the long-awaited launch of the new state-of-the-art facility is scheduled for February, and that's when the first veterans can start moving in. Several residents living in one of the state's other 4 veterans homes have already said they'd like to move in to be closer to relatives.
Why are we making family members travel all the way an hour and a half, 2 hours, 3 hours to go see their loved ones? Because we were separating our veterans from those that they love. Well, this is a place that brings that love back.
It will eventually become home for 200 veterans, including some with special needs. They'll start accepting applications next month. It'll remain closed to the public while precautions are in place in long-term care facilities. The state also plans to spend $230 million to completely rebuild the Quincy Veterans Home. Veterans were honored in a drive-by ceremony today. It was organized by Rotary members in Champaign and Urbana. WCIA 3's Courtney Bunting joins us now. So, Courtney, this is not their typical event.
Well, it's not, and this was actually a safe alternative to the huge meal they normally host. Around 250 people usually come to that. But this year, they plan to cancel altogether. But one Rotary member thought, why not try something different? He organized this drive-through line at Hessel Park in Champaign. Veterans drove through and were greeted by patriotic music, pizza slices, cookies, and drinks. Organizers say it's the least they can do to show their gratitude.
We all have people that have served our country, family and friends over the decades of our country. And to me, personally, it really hit me in 1991 when yellow ribbons went on everybody's tree. So that has stayed with me since then. And I just always love this day and celebrating our wonderful heroes of our country.
Among the veterans who stopped by today was Harold, or Bud, Vandiver. He's in the middle there in that picture. He's a 95-year-old veteran who served in the Army Air Force in World War II. Now, the day isn't over yet, so organizers of the event say if you see a veteran, be sure to tell them thank you. Live in the newsroom, Courtney Bunting, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
Absolutely some good advice, Courtney. Thanks. A crumbling school gym was closed last month. Why it won't be reopening its doors to students. Plus this.
It would be very difficult to have done it without it.
It's been a challenging year for small businesses where dozens are getting a helping hand.